Hello. Today is World Card Making Day, so yay, time to make some cards. This video today is going to be specifically about making a card for the Be Brave card drive that's going on this month for Fun Stampers Journey. This is their third annual Be Brave card drive, and what this card drive is about is that we create cards and send them in, and then they take these cards and they give them to some organizations that are then going to distribute these cards to cancer patients and their families as well. So these cards could go to a variety of people in different facilities, different stages with things. So it's kind of a nice way to just pass a little kindness along with it. So this is the address to send that into. So, and I will talk a little bit more about that as we get the card finished. So we're going to start out today with our card base, and I have, it's a whipped cream card base for this card. And then I have the layer. So this is a 5.5 inch by 4.25 inch card base. I have the next layer, which is going to be the 4 1/8 across by 5 3/8 on it. And then I have another one that's another 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. And for this piece, I actually ran it through my platinum machine to dry emboss it, and I used this love letter embossing folder. So that has been dry embossed on it, and I'm going to add that to my river stone on here. So when I do a dry embossed piece, I always use a wet glue when I apply it. And the reason for that is, as much as I love the permanent adhesive runner, when you're talking about a dry embossed piece, you don't have the surface area that you do with just a flat piece of cardstock. So what happens is, with dry embossing, it's only going to sit on the parts that are low enough that it can press against this cardstock. And then you have that raised impression, you have the back side of the raised impression, that's not going to have any adhesive on it. So I like the liquid glue for this because that means that the glue kind of flows into those raised portions, and so you get a better stick with everything. So I'm going to use the Journey Craft glue on this. I'm just going to put a little on. And it doesn't take a whole lot. And then I am going to attach my layers. Sorry, my eyesight isn't really great, so I kind of have to lift it to where I can kind of see what I'm doing. And then just going to press that into place. Now I have another piece for the next layer, and it's a circle that's cut out of whipped cream cardstock again. I used the Journey Circles dies to cut that out, and I used the largest die and the largest dotted die as well. So for this one, I want to add a little splash to it. So what I'm going to do, you'll have to excuse me as I kind of maneuver around here, tip my lights over, all sorts of fun stuff, making a mess. I'm going to bring my spray box in. So all this is just a shipping box that I had received something in, and I taped the sides up so that they're higher. And then I just have a box that when I do things that are messy, like splashes or silks or whatnot, I have a place that I can do it and it's not going to wind up all over my desk, because I tend to be kind of messy with stuff. So we're going to start out with the bubblegum silk. And I'm just going to get this mixed up. And you just want to make sure that the bottom, that there's no like paint settled on the bottom when it's mixed. There's that little agitator ball in there. And that'll just mix everything up. And then this just looks like fingernail polish, but what you can do is just take it out and just splatter. Have a little fun. Put just a little splash of color on there. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the sparkle silk. So this one has kind of a little bit of a silvery kind of sparkle to it. Just adds a nice little bit. I am dropsy today, I'm telling you. I have dropped so many things today already. Probably shouldn't be handling anything fragile. So these actually tend to dry pretty quickly. So I'm going to take my box out of the way and just set that aside for a moment. And then I have another piece of whipped cream cardstock again. And this one is cut at 1.5 inches high by 3 3/4 inches long. So what I'm going to do with that is I am going to stamp the Have Courage sentiment from the Take Action stamp set. That's the stamp set. And I'm going to use bubblegum ink to stamp this sentiment. Again, my head might get in the way here because I can see. Just going to stamp that there, and that will even out as it goes. And then I'm going to take my 4.5-inch craft snips, and I'm going to cut down the center here, and I'm going to notch this into a fishtail banner. So now we're going to start assembling. And what I want to do is I want to take this circle and I want to pop it up with some foam squares. Now I'm going to actually take this off the edge of the page. So when I put the foam square on this side, I'm going to actually put it in a little bit so that it's not right on the edge. Take all my little backers off. I'm just going to put that down kind of center. And like I said, off the edge there. And then for this, I do like to use my larger craft shears. The reason for this is because this has such a long blade on it that I can actually make the cut in just about one pass, which makes a smoother edge on there. If you're not having to open and close scissors several times, you just get a little bit smoother cut to it. So we have that, and then I want to take this little banner and I'm just going to attach it right there. So since on this one we have complete contact, there's not any embossing, I'm going to go ahead and use my adhesive runner on the back side of that. And then we're going to attach this to the card base. Again, we're going to use the adhesive runner to put that on. Gummied here. And I don't want to mess with it. So. Do this. And then we're just going to attach this onto our card base. Now, if you want to add a little bit more to the card at this point, I think that the journey sequins would add a really nice touch to it. Or, as I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the pearls and just add a couple pearls, just kind of here and there. That's good. So I like to work in odds when I'm doing the pearls. It just seems to look better as you're looking at it. So I've used just the 5 there. So that's the card that I'm making today. Very, very easy, very simple. I think it looks very elegant though. So what I'm going to do with this card now is I'm going to put a message inside. And again, as I was saying earlier, this is going to cancer patients in different various facilities and things like that, as well as possibly for families. So I'm going to make sure it's a generic, just kind of a message of hope or something in there. And then when I have, because I'm making a bunch of cards for this, I am going to send them in to this address. And it does not matter if it's Fun Stamper Journey products. So if you make cards using other products, you can still send them in and they'll still be distributed with it. That's one of the really nice things with this, is that it's not a sales thing. This is just a donation. So this is again the address that you can send to. And again, if you want to write in there, if you don't want to write in there, that's up to you. They can put something in there. But just make sure that it's kind of a generic sentiment with it. They would like to have the cards in by October 27th. So just kind of schedule when you send everything out to about that time frame. And they can add envelopes to it as well. So you don't have to provide the envelope, although it would be nice. So anyway, that's the card. That's the card drive. Happy World Card Making Day. I hope you are having fun. You are doing something creative. Be sure to share with me what you're making. I want to see what you're doing. So have a great day. Much love to you all. Bye.